Hi, this is Karen. I am with the channel Spiritual Intuitions. The last video I made, I said it was with Kinetic Karma. That was my old channel, which I'm not using. So I don't edit my videos, so I'm just making a clarification on this one. But at any rate, I'm here to do another reading. I've already said prayer and I've pulled several runes. So today I'm going to start out with the ruin Manaz. Manaz is this ruin, and it deals with community. Let me go to the book so that I can give you a good description of the ruin. So Manaz is the ruin of man, humanity, and mankind. It deals with how our relationships with ourselves is reflected in the relationship with others. And when they say others, they don't, well, it's just not confined to people. It's also confined to everything that you relate to: trees, nature, animals, everything. So this is what Manaz deals with: the relationship that we have between us and us and us and others. Okay. So let's see. We are less powerful, less connected when we lack community, connection to others. So, in order to be balanced, in order to fulfill our mission here on this planet, we need to be connected to community. We need to have others. We're by nature creatures of a tribal nature. We need community in order to flourish. Our relationships is what allows us to build our network and generate value both ways, from the relationship we have with others and what others get from us. So the community is really important. Manaz deals with this relationship and the dynamics of this relationship. Let's see. This is the ruin of interdependence. So that's really important. So there may be a need for interdependence in your relationships or in some of your relationships, or you may be exhibiting that versus codependency or independence. Okay, so when you talk about relationships, you can have codependency, interdependence, or independence. Those are some of the dynamics that present with relationship, and it brings me to intimate relationships. They're telling me this is about someone's intimate relationships. So if you're dealing with codependency, you want to strive towards more interdependence, which means that you bring value and that they bring value, but your value can stand on its own. It's like a fully developed value that you bring, and another person brings a fully developed value. And when you get together, it's an interdependence on those values that you honor, and that gives the relationship the ability to flourish and create something out of nothing, or to add to what's already there. By combining the two independent energies into an interdependent relationship, you can build, you can flourish, you can create more community, more value added products, more value added relationships, by creating the interdependence. Okay, so it says this ruin is of interdependence and the gifts we bring to bear upon our fellow humans via the community, your talents and abilities or gifts as seen in Gebo, are what give you value to those around you. And it is very important to share those talents and gifts with others, especially in your relationships. But it's also very important not to let someone just take your gifts and not give, because that creates you out of balance. And the whole object of creating a healthy lifestyle is to be in balance in whatever the context is, whatever the subject matter is. You want to be balanced. You don't want to be out of balance. So to have a one-way giving, it's like a leeching, like someone leeching off of your talents and abilities constantly can deplete you, and you don't want that. So you want to strive towards give and take in your relationships, in all of them, but especially your intimate ones, because they can impact you a lot. So enough of that. Let's see. Mayonnaise can often relate to friendships, romantic relationships, or partnerships, much the way Ehwaz does. In fact, you can see Ehwaz as the base of mayonnaise. We must strive to treat our fellow men with respect, but we must also strive to treat ourselves with respect. So it's a balance that this mayonnaise thing is talking about, between how we relate to ourselves and others, basically in a nutshell. The next ruin that I want to talk about that I pulled was Algiz. And Algiz is the ruin of protection. So, and it looks like this, Algiz. Okay, so Algiz is the ruin of the elk, or the elk sedge. There's no other ruin that is more regarded for its protective qualities than Algiz. Some of the key notes of Algiz is steadfast, protection, and strong. It is the ruin that insists we reach out to the unseen world for help and protection. So when we're talking about protection, we're not just talking about protection on the physical plane. We're talking also about, with this ruin, Algiz, asking for protection from your ancestors, from your guides and your spirit guides, and from the unseen world. If you don't ask, they cannot assist you. If you don't honor and recognize them, which may be putting up an altar, which may be acknowledging their existence, which may be calling on them for help, which may be noticing when they intercede for you and thanking them. You know, like a lot of times I'll say a protection prayer whenever I get into my car. The first thing I do is say a protection prayer. And a lot of times I'll have a near accident, and I'll realize that, oh, okay, thank you, ancestors, for protecting me. Thank you for keeping me aware and out of danger and out of, any accidents. And I'll just thank them when I have a near call or a close call. So it's not just me noticing, it's them bringing to my awareness something that I need to pay attention to, so that I can avoid a collision in my life, whether that be in the realm of driving my car, or dynamics of dealing with others, or whatever it is. I'm asking that they cover me, that they protect me, that they go before me. A lot of times I'll ask the Holy Ghost to go before me and clear the way, so that I don't have any obstacles. Sometimes I'll call on Ganesh, which is another deity that clears the way for you. So those are some of the things that I do. But with Algiz, it says you can even draw the protection on your third eye when you go into meditation, or when you're going to do work that is beyond the 3D. You want protection. You always want to, in spiritual work, to protect yourself first. So you might want to use that to protect yourself there. You might want to use it as a sign over your door in in conjunction with Othila, which is another rune that I pulled in this reading, to protect the threshold of your door, so that no negative energies come through, seen or unseen. So it's all up to you and what you vibrate with, how you vibrate, how you choose to protect yourself. But the bottom line is protect yourself. Ask for the protection, however you do it. Okay? Let's see. Okay, it says, you are here in this world now, and it is your foremost responsibility to protect yourself and those you love, not your ancestors, not anyone else. So just because you ask for protection, or even if you don't, you still need and are required to do the things that make yourself safe in this 3D world right now. It's up to you. You are responsible for your protection. A lot of times in the Western world, we think that the police are responsible for our protection. They are not. They are not here for our protection, and they are not responsible for our protection. They are responsible for keeping law and order. We are responsible for our protection. Sometimes we feel like we should hand it over to men, like the men is the protector. And I don't argue with that, but at the same time, your man may not always be around to protect you. And what are you going to do then? So it's your man's responsibility to show you how to protect yourself. Or if he doesn't, you need to find out how to do that on your own. You cannot depend on another person to protect you and yours. You have to be able to do this, because any number of scenarios could come up where you may need to do it, and because you didn't feel like it was your responsibility, you didn't take the initiative to go do it. Whether that's on a spiritual level or physical level, no matter. It's about growth, it's about development, and it's about us understanding our power. And we are powerful individuals, whether we're men, women, no matter. And it's nice to have men as protectors, as women, but sometimes that's not the case. And when it's not the case, or for example, if you're in an abusive relationship where you're being harmed, you may not be able to physically overcome your abuser, but you can always call on your ancestors to kick ass for you. You can always call on your ancestors to make a difference for you and to show you the way to get out of that relationship. You can do that. That is within your power. He doesn't, or she doesn't need to know about it. It's something that is an innate right that you have to protect yourself. And there are many ways that you could protect yourself. So I just wanted to bring that up as well. Now, I'm gonna, it says you can also use algae as a way to protect yourself, as well as your items or other people and pets. So you can, it gave the example of drawing the sign algae on the back of your pet's name tag for protection. You have to get creative with this stuff. It's not a one size fits all, and it's not one thing for everybody. So if it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. And if it does, great. Okay? So the last one that I'm going to do is that's not the last one I pulled, but the next one I'm going to go over is Othila. Othila is the last rune of the Fruit Rock set. And I know I'm not pronouncing that well, but you can do research on the runes yourself and see what I'm talking about. Othila looks like this. And it's about family, inheritance, legacy, heritage. Okay? The rune showcases and highlights that to which we belong in regard to our family. We are responsible for our heritage, which we will inherit, both that which we will inherit and that which has been passed down. So now, as we grow, as we learn, as we take more accountability and responsibility for uh, uh, how we got to where we are, who we are, and where we're going, we get to acknowledge those who've come before us. We get to acknowledge the gifts they gave us to get us to where we are, and we get to acknowledge the ones that will come after us. And how we do that is in honoring our responsibility to take care and develop the assets that we have that were passed down from our ancestors, whether they be spiritual assets, whether they be financial assets, no matter. We need to honor, respect, and grow them. We also need to protect them, which is, again, algaes. We need to grow them. And how do we do that? By sharing them with community, by bringing them out in community, maybe in a business. Who knows? Maybe we want to create a business that brings value of the things that our ancestors handed down. A lot of times in olden times, people had trades, and the trades, certain families were known for certain trades. Well, you may not know it, but a lot of your gifts may be passed down from your ancestors, like people pass down trades in their family. So, for example, I am psychic, and I'm pretty sure that, somewhere in my history, there are people who I got my gifts from. Okay, I don't know them per se, but I'm sure that some of my ancestors had great psychic abilities, great abilities to intuit, to divine, to do magic, whether that be light or dark. They had the gift of doing this. They had a propensity to do this. And so I have it, and it's my job to develop that if I choose to, and share it in a way that benefits the community, that benefits my family, that benefits me. Okay? But first, we always need to look at the self first. We have to take care of ourselves before we take care of others. So if we can heal ourselves, if we can divine and have discipline and devotion to something ourselves, then we can share it with another. But we can't share something that we don't actually have an experience of. And it takes devotion, it takes discipline in order to develop certain crafts, like even the psychic ability. Like, you could be born with a ability, but does that mean that that's all it is and that it's static, the level of skill set that you have? No. You can discover a lot through exploration, through devotion to study, through devotion to inquiry, through learning and teaching. Okay? And I want to specifically say through teaching, because through teaching you learn. And a lot of people don't think about it that way, but you do. If you are willing to share what you know, then in that teaching, you delve to a deeper level of your understanding of the subject. So I digress. Othela. We're on Othela, inheritance, legacy, and estate. So for some of you, there may be a question about assets that you're inheriting or that you have inherited that you need to protect. Quite frankly, you need to protect your assets that were inherited, that were given to you. You need to protect how you support your community, your energies in you doing that, depending on what it is you're doing. I don't know what it is you inherited, whether it's money, whether it's a craft, whether it's a psychic ability, whatever it is, you inherited it, and other people want it, and other people will stop you or try to stop you from developing your gift, because they don't have it, because it's not their gift, because they're too focused on what you have and not developing what their ancestors left them. And so this grave mistake that people make when they try to interfere with someone else's inheritance, someone else's God-given gifts, someone else's destiny, it's a grave mistake when they try to interfere with others, because in interfering with others' destiny, they interfere with their own, and they dishonor their gifts and what their ancestors left them. They dishonor it. And when they dishonor it, they're left without protection. So, if you're feeling unprotected in any area of your life, you have to ask yourself, am I on the right side of the track? Am I honoring what it is that I have that are my gifts and not coveting someone else's? Am I seeking to develop and share my gifts, or am I seeking to stop someone from developing and sharing theirs? Because you don't have a right to do that. That's a violation, a spiritual violation. Who are you to go against what God gave someone? Who are you to try to interfere with another's destiny? You're not that person. I'm sorry, you're just not. You are the person who is able to develop and share what God gave you, what your ancestors gave you. And that's important because there's a distinction. And so we want to be on the right side. And if you haven't been, that's okay. You can shift. You can shift to the right side of the tracks if you choose to, or if you haven't gone too far down the line, because there is a point of no return when you cross spiritual laws, when you choose to go against the flow and you continuously, for periods of time, and it depends on what the nature of the crime is, or what the nature of the violation is that you do and how long you do it for, when you'll be stuck, when there's a point of no return. You've sold your soul, you've contracted to something that you can't get out of, which is pure hell. So there is a point. So you have to determine. A lot of people have done that, and that's why they come after your gifts, because they can't create on their own anymore, because they're cursed, because they need other people's energy, other people's gifts. They need to control and dominate what's going on, because they can't create for themselves anymore, because they sold their soul. That's pretty deep, but in fact, that's what it is. So at any rate, the Norse, there was no greater success than the well-established and beautiful, abundant farm, family, and community. So, and that's really important, because a farm gives you the ability to be self-sustainable. Family gives you the access to be able to take care of that farm and to create that farm and to do those things. And community also helps you in that, where you can trade your resources, what you grow, and you can barter and you can give back and forth. That creates an independent community. So those values are still very important. Unfortunately, in today's society, this microwave society, it's not valued anymore. But just wait till the resources break down. And they are breaking down. The price of food is out off the chain. Resources, the supply chain is unstable. It's a mechanical thing, and it could break. If there is a glitch in the internet and the functioning of that, a lot of stuff could break down. Are you going to be able to sustain yourself, your family, your community? Do you have community that has the same mindset that you have, that you could trust and know that you can depend on during times of severe emergency and breakdown? Or are you going to be like a lonely rat trying to find a hole? Those are good questions to ask yourself, okay? I'm not trying to be difficult or a naysayer, I just want people to understand that, yeah, everything is not what it appears to be, and we need to look deeper and go deeper, is the message of this reading. We need to look deeper and go deeper. The last ruin that I pulled was this one. It's blank. I call it amen. Like there could be a wild card. Anything could happen. It could be the emergency that impacts this, or it could be great fortune, something that's very beneficent, like hitting the lottery, that impacts this. Either way, we have to be able to know how to relate to our community. We have to know how to protect our assets, and we have to know how to relate between us and the people that we love and care for in a way that is sustainable, not just for the moment, not just like you hit the lotto and you buy everybody houses and then they have bad luck and they lose their house and you buy them again. No, you have to be able to show people how to value the resources in a way that benefits society, that benefits the group, that benefits everybody, not just themselves, and not in a way that they could take it for granted, because these things are really, really important, especially in the times and days and times that we live in now. So at this point, what I want to do is do a quick reading with Archangel Michael cards, and they're by Doreen Virtue. And I'm going to do it in relation to the ruins that I pulled. So the first one is Manes, and it says, positive thoughts create positive results. Divine love and wisdom, I call upon you now. I know that my mind and emotions are eternally and continuously connected to you. I ask my higher self to be aware and conscious of the love and the light that is within every person and situation. Every person and situation. Mayonnaise, community. Now, I'm going to do Algi's. Oh, and it says it's time to leave this unhealthy situation. And that comes under the protection, Algi's. Ruin. Archangel Michael, what parts of my life do I need to focus on more closely right now? Thank you for helping me to hear your answers and for giving me the courage to make healthy changes in my life. And we all have places that we can stand to improve. We all do. Some of them are blind spots, some of them are known. The next one is Othila, and it says, detach from the situation now. I ask you to use your flaming sword to cut any attachment to fear or drama so that I may be centered in the knowingness that peace is everywhere within me and in this situation. Okay, and that again is Othila. And Othila was, I forgot that quick. Othila, families were made up of several different, okay, Othila is about the family. So we can use Othila also to improve or work on improving relationships with our family. And then for the wild card, please give us a focus of what we're dealing with here. Innocence. Dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see that all of your qualities of pure love and light are reflected within me and all others. Help me to embrace my God-given innocence so that I may be at peace. And those are the Archangel Michael cards. And I'm going to do one quick one for the Kippur Tarot. I'm going to pull the cards on those as well. So for Manas, sudden wealth for Manas. Like I said, you could hit the lottery. For Algiers, change. There will be a change. It's time to leave this unhealthy situation, is the card in the top. And for Othila, distant horizons, detach from the situation. It's telling me that there's something about the familial, the family that you don't know about, something that is unseen, that hasn't come up yet, that will show itself in the very near future, but not to worry about it. When it's time, everything will be in divine right order. And the last one is the wild card, which is expectations. And it says innocence. So when I see expectations, I feel like sometimes our expectations can get in the way of the current gift, of the current moment, of being here now. When we're expecting, we're mentally focused on being in the future. We want to be in the present, where we can actually make a difference. The present, the now, is the only place that we could shift to make choices that impact the future. So when I look at this as the wild card, being here now is really important, and being here now in your innocence, being here now in whatever you see. Don't try to create it from the past or from the future of what you're looking for or from what happened. Just experience what you're experiencing in its fullness, in your innocence. Let it hit you and speak to you in the moment, and you'll be protected. And that is the reading for today. I thank you for coming in, everybody. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe if you will. It helps the channel, it helps me. And it lets me know that I'm on the right track with my audience. I believe that the people who are meant to hear my messages will. Those will be the people who are attracted to my readings, and that they'll be of value to you. So I really do. That is my wish for you, my wish for us all, my gift to you. Thank you. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.